So you may realise this is my car. It's actually Steve Howells from the iPace forums car, and he's going to kindly let me have a look at the new update.
I don't know, it definitely works better.
Yes, so CarPlay looks a bit higher resolution than Android Auto does, and there's cleaner lines on it. I know something people have been picking up recently. So has this changed at all since the update, or was there an iOS update which brought this in?
No, I think there's been two things. I think we've had 19B and then iOS 13 or 13.1. I've got the beta of 13.1. But Apple CarPlay seems to work pretty well now, because I was, like I think many people, experiencing this problem. If you made an outgoing call via CarPlay, the people on the other end of the call couldn't hear you. And
that was one of the things fixed in 19B, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's, I mean, I have made plenty of phone calls on it, and it's worked seamlessly so far.
Excellent stuff.
Really good. Yeah, I'm getting friendly with Siri again.
Always a good thing. So anyway, Steve, thank you for letting me sit in your car and look at 19B.
Yeah, sorry about the weather.
Well, yeah, it's almost like this when I lost my car the other week, but there we go.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's good to be back in an iPace. So
absolutely,
that's always good.
A very comfortable place to be.
It is always a nice place to sit and things.
So I got 19B last week, I think, and I've had almost no opportunity to use it. So this is going to be a bit of an experience for both of us.
Sounds good. So a lot of the changes are, well, there's a lot of fixes. So we should see that the EV panel stays in place. Do you use Creep or not?
I don't use Creep, no.
But we can see there immediately we've got your My EV panel. It's there.
Yeah.
It hasn't disappeared.
And that's a real novelty, because for me, they were never there.
Yeah. And I know people are saying that Creep stays on, which I think...
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't use Creep.
Yeah.
I mean, but we could try it. But
yeah,
I don't use
we can try it. So that's a very easy one to test, isn't it?
Yep.
If we turn Creep on, that's that one, isn't it?
It is.
Is that going to work, or is it going to stay...
I think we have to be in
park, do we? Yeah. There we go.
Creep on.
Yeah, it's on. That's nice. So that's on now. So if we power off and then power back on again, previously that would have disappeared.
Yep.
I know sometimes it was how quick you powered back on, but certainly I think if you open the doors it actually does a shutdown. I'm making you do
there we go. Right, let's try it.
Yeah,
we might as well do a proper test.
Yeah, so if we shut it down, and then hopefully if we start it back up again, yeah, it's still there. It's good. And I think that would sometimes stay on in that situation, but it was so unreliable.
Yeah.
I mean that's given, and everybody's telling me that that's fixed. That the people.
I say it's not a feature I use.
No, but it's great. But it's great to see the fact you've got the My EV thing standing at the staying up, because that was, I mean, these tiles disappearing was such a frustration.
This screen is much more stable now.
Yeah, everything's
limited experience. You put something on there, it stays there.
So the other change they talked about was climate control. So apparently we should be able to use full climate control even if we're not actually in drive.
Right.
And be able to change, and that does seem to be working. You seem to have the climate control options on. The buttons are showing the right things, which I don't know.
Which is always good.
Yeah, so that's good. So what's the other thing which they fixed? They fixed the ambient lighting controls.
Right.
So that was supposed to survive power off and back on and work on that.
Oh no, you mean they come back on the same colour? my grandkids love that, not knowing quite what colour it'll be when they get back in it.
I'm not sure if it does come back on the same colour, but that's something they'll have to check.
Well, I know I've got mine set to red, and so for the last week when I've been out in the evening, they've been coming back on the same colour.
Yeah, that's good.
That's unusual. Almost disappointing.
Yeah, sometimes they fix things. You've got used to the bugs, and it's actually better to have the bugs.
Yeah.
So, and the other, the main change is around navigation.
Yes.
So now, if you set a navigation on the Jaguar navigation, you should be able to get the state charge when you arrive at the destination.
Right. I haven't tried that. I am having a little bit of trouble with navigation.
Yes, because you're having actually a big bit of problems with navigation.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't seem to be able to log into my InControl account, my Here account from the car. I put my address in, I put my password in, it accepts all of that and it says, oh, we've got a problem on our end,
Yeah.
which isn't particularly helpful.
It's not very helpful at all. And that's only happened since 19B.
That's only happened since 19B.
So it must be you're the only person I've heard of with that problem.
Right.
So hopefully it's not a general problem with 19B.
No.
Maybe it's just something to do with doing the update, or maybe totally coincidental. But that does seem odd. That it would be.
And because I was slightly behind with a map update, I thought, well, I'll do the map update and see whether that cures the problem. So now we're sitting here. I've no maps because I've got the USB stick in. It's loading the maps, and I can't get into my account either.
So difficult to test anything.
Yeah. So. But we can.
But what we should be able to, if we go into navigation, let's have a look and see if it'll actually bring up. Yeah, it's still downloading. We'll try that in a little while and see how that works. But the key thing. So the other thing, of course, is the cameras.
Yeah.
How responsive they are, and the reversing camera, and also the fact you're supposed to be able to bring up the reversing sensors when you're reversing. So we'll try that in a little while. Obviously we won't try that when we drive because we're going to do reverse at some point. But what I've noticed from people's videos they've sent me is like in that situation, it seemed to come up really quickly. Switch between the cameras.
Switching between them now, I think, is much quicker, and I also think there's less lag.
Yeah.
When you're in reverse, I think.
Well, that seems to be what people are telling me. There's still some from what
there is a little tiny bit, but it's nowhere near as bad as.
So it's what people have said it's like a tenth of a second rather than half a second.
Yes.
Well, actually, I mean, when I had my little shunt, it was more like 2 seconds. So
well, you could get out and have a look.
Still get back in. So tenth of a second for me would be fine.
Yeah.
And that's quite equivalent with a lot of other cars which have got 360-degree cameras, because 360-degree cameras are notorious for adding complexity.
It's got to build the image
and everything like that.
But
so,
you can, I think, even in this sort of forward view like that, when you split the view, if you watch traffic going down the road, you get a much more seamless picture.
Yeah,
you can see the leaves moving now.
Yeah,
and certainly in an earlier version of that, I wouldn't have seen that with such clarity.
And certainly, I think I've noticed before is that sometimes a car will actually be in front of you before it actually shows up on the camera. Yeah. So that sounds like that's improved. But I mean, definitely the fluidity on here. Let's go back to that camera as that car just went past. You can see that car going past on the 360. So it definitely was.
It's definitely quicker.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, the fluidity on getting the settings up is there's still a little bit of lag there, but.
Yes, but it is still quicker than it was.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely something there. So let's go into software update just quickly and see what we've got.
But one thing, while we're on that screen as well, one thing that always annoyed me, and I don't know whether it is fixed, but what I've noticed is when I've connected to my home Wi-Fi network, it always used to forget that.
Yeah.
And I always had to log back in. So far,
it's remembered it.
I'm in.
Yeah, and that is one of the fixes on Wi-Fi, so that's excellent. We've got that as well. So obviously we're showing 19B. What do we show on vehicle software? So this is one thing it's interesting. It's now vehicle connectivity system rather than what was it before? Telemetrics, wasn't it? TCU, telemetrics. Which actually that makes a lot more sense to people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you actually got a version number.
Some people don't get those.
They don't.
Although I believe, I think for those didn't have them, if you waited long enough, I think it did come up in the end.
I've never seen it.
Oh right, okay.
So, I thought
it was a timing issue.
Well, it might be. It might be. Maybe I just haven't been patient enough. Always possible.
Yeah, that could be it.
Always possible. So, I mean, those are the main fixes. Certainly, the speed of it, the reliability, the fact that the panels don't disappear. I mean, I actually had panels disappear when I've gone to settings and come back. So that's.
Oh, so have I. I mean, this is a surprise to see these tiles.
Yeah.
Because you know what it's like. Most of them aren't there most of the time.
Yeah, so that's great. That's great.
And pinning things onto my home, all that works.
Yeah.
In fact, the only thing that I noticed when I upgraded to 19B, I had a previous icon up there for vehicle precondition. That came up as a black box. I don't know whether they changed the icon, so I had to delete it and put it back on.
Okay.
Apart from that.
Well, that's that sort of thing. We better turn creep off, otherwise it'll be confusing.
Yes, it will. I'll be wondering where I'm going.
It'll be like me when I got on the Land Rover and realised that it didn't actually have adaptive cruise control.
Yeah. Right. No, that's serious stuff.
That's serious stuff. Yeah. Actually, that's one thing. While we're in just slight aside from 90B, a lot of people have complained about the roller controls on here. It's looking cheap. And I can kind of see that compared to the ones in the Land Rover, but the Land Rover ones are so much more difficult to use. These are so easy to use by comparison.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they probably need some work. I mean, I've said right along. I mean, I've come out of an Audi. My wife drives an A4. I do think the switchgear in an Audi is about as good as it gets.
Yes, yeah.
But I think this is okay.
Yeah.
I've been confused by some of this before. I mean, I think I had the car for 2 or 3 months before I realised that these arrows either side of the cruise control, you could actually press them. I thought they were just.
I thought
how does that work?
I must admit, when I read the manual at first, I thought that they meant you flicked up for long.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
Very
I
confusing.
couldn't get that to work for ages.
And I thought, well, surely I'm going to be able to set the speed as well, not just the distance.
Yeah.
It seemed a bit weird, but
yes.
That's
Some clever person in the group told me, press the button. I thought, oh yeah, it's obvious.
Oh, well, shall we go for a drive?
Yeah, yes.
Otherwise, you won't ever get a chance to drive your car.
Why?
Now, hopefully, by the time we've done that, navigation will be set and these things.
Updates that have maybe even helped with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's a lot quicker. I mean, one of the things which always used to take, says having something which is going slow. One thing which always used to take forever was bringing that screen up, and then if you swipe, it's always difficult to do from the passenger
screen. It is, isn't it, from the other seat?
Because you've got the angle on the screen slightly.
From this side, it's didn't work either.
Well, it came up. I mean, that's coming up pretty quick compared to normal, isn't it? So. I mean, yes, you've got the animation in there, which is actually a fixed length, so it's never going to come up any quicker than that. But it's quite a nice screen to actually be on while you're driving.
Yeah.
Have you had anything come up on your DAB screen yet?
Not a thing. No. I can change the radio station, and I'll this side and stick Virgin on. I can see out there now it says Virgin Radio, but it's not.
Telling you.
It doesn't stay there.
Yeah.
It just tells me I've changed to it.
Yeah.
Is that new?
That looks different, doesn't it?
That does look different.
I've got some old video. Yeah,
there you go. So on
colours.
regen, it's green.
Yeah, and then on power, I'm sure that
I don't remember that.
I remember the animation, but I don't remember the colour.
No.
Maybe it isn't it. I don't know. Now there was a talk about more information on the economy. I don't know if it was the economy screen or the My EV screen, but there was talk about some extra information being shown there. But whether that's the case or not, let's see if we go back.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember that.
Yeah. So have you got the eco data one? I think it was the eco data one. They were saying that they'd added some more information. Although that looks the same to me.
No, don't broadcast that. 4.9. Come on. That's doing my credibility no good.
Well, it's an iPace. Yeah, that's almost too good.
Yeah. Is it broken?
Well, you haven't been able to drive it much since the update, and I would have reset it. So, yeah, I'm not sure that's any different. I thought they said they'd change that, but
that looks the same to me. I must be honest.
It looks the same to me. Yeah. Good to see those. Came up quick. That was good. Yeah. Yeah,
that's exactly the same.
Yeah, it's totally the same. So it was something about an eco mode, though. So maybe it was only maybe it's only if you actually change the settings. Other fixes: if you come out of valley mode, you can actually get back into the.
Okay, I've never used that. I must be honest.
So I did that out on one of my trips and came out of valley mode, and it wouldn't recognise me as my profile.
Oh,
so yeah, it took a bit of sorting out.
I can tell you a funny story. This car came with an activity band.
Yep.
And I only used it once. I was out with my wife. We got back to the car. Well, first of all, she said to me, well, what are you doing with the keys? I said, well, you leave them in the boot and you use this band, you do this and you do that. She said, well, that sounds like a silly idea. Fancy locking the keys in the boot. So when we got back to the car, the band opened the boot, but the key wouldn't work. So Oh, it was a complete nightmare. But there's a little slot under here,
Which you have to put the key.
and if you actually put the key physically in it or next to it, it kind of pairs it up again. But I tell you, for 10 minutes I was thinking,
Panic.
that was not a good idea.
Lovely weather we have in the UK.
Look at that. But there are worse places to be than the front of an iPace in this weather.
There are indeed, yeah. I'm intrigued by this screen now. That's definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely. I'm pretty confident that is different.
Yeah. I like that. It's cool. And the fact it comes up so quick as well with that animation.
Very good.
Definitely an improvement. So have you had anything in your head up yet for your
No,
DAB?
nothing. Absolutely
so I don't
nothing.
think. But if it's improved the DAB tuning, I'll be happy with that.
It does work.
How's your navigation going at the moment? Let's go back to the screen. Oops. Well, we're not far off having your navigation screen up.
We'll be there shortly. Another run around the block.
Yeah. And it's all good fun to have a run around the block. So, did your range reset after the update?
Unfortunately, it did. I mean, I'd been reading online lots of people talking about they were getting this mysterious, no matter how you've driven, you always got 201. And I thought, well, I'm pretty lucky I've not had that. I did 19B, charged it up, it said you got 201 miles.
Yeah.
But, come on.
And that's a really strange error. There we go, maps installed.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, so we'll start, and then hopefully we'll see this new magical map thing they supposedly added. Let's go into maps.
Well, you're doing pretty well operating with your left hand.
Yeah,
from the passenger seat.
I've got the angle right now. It does seem a bit slow going into that, though, but that's probably because it's busy
I think it's got to restart. It's still loading.
Yeah, it's just that's a bit of a strange message when you do. It should say, "Please wait, navigation loading." Or
yes, right. I think it's
finishing update.
I reckon it's there because I've now got the speed limits back in my head-up display.
Yeah. I wonder if you can sign into your account now, but anyway.
Yeah, I'll probably have to stop to do that.
That's an interesting outside, very zoomed out view, that, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
I guess we're driving south.
We are actually, yeah.
It's one thing about this area, you can always tell which direction you're heading.
Yes, there are some benefits to a grid road system running north, south, east and west.
Yeah. Well, let's just do something crazy and try and navigate somewhere a long way away. So let's go to, I don't know, London. Not that far away, but... Whoops. Now that's the bit I couldn't get with my left hand.
Yeah. You're doing pretty well.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to London. So now this is new.
Yeah, that was the...
So it now shows you've got 43%
start and finish,
and you get 70% in the end, and that's really good, isn't it?
It is very good.
It's really good.
So that was definitely a feature that was missing.
Yeah. I wonder if that changes as you drive along, whether it keeps updating it.
Well, let's try.
Yeah. I'll probably say it's going the wrong direction, but we'll see. Yep, I did get it. So that's still fairly sluggish. I think the sat nav's the sluggish bit of the navigation, sluggish bit of the interface. So I'm not seeing that obviously at the moment because we've got the junction, but.
I think it's all. Didn't it also say the safety camera warnings more accurate as well?
Yeah, they're supposed to be within. But so they used to warn you as almost as you're on them rather than before them.
Yes,
which is supposed to be a reasonable amount of time.
Okay, I know there is a safety camera, not too far. We'll go try it.
Yeah. Finding new routes.
Try the lower button there. You might. Route remaining full route.
Route remaining, maybe. See what that does. Yeah, so that shows it. Shows it shows it there. But
it has dynamically changed it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That is really good because that's one of the things I missed when I was driving the Tesla. Because you had an idea if you were keeping on track with what you were planning.
Yeah.
That was good. Now the other thing this is supposed to be improved, is searching for if I remember how to do this. Petrol. I don't want a petrol station.
No, you're not in that Range Rover now.
No, I'd like a charging station, please. Let's see what we get. That was a lot quicker than usual.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that
is good.
That was really good. Interesting the choices it's coming up with. I wonder if it's actually got some of the. That's not bad actually. I remember last time I was here searching for.
It's almost a problem in milk cages.
Yeah,
too many of them.
Yeah. But this actually seems to be bringing up a more reasonable selection.
Yeah.
Of course, you should have the settings. Not mess your navigation up, but go into navigation.
Yeah, you should be able to set what type of charger we want as well.
Yeah, we should. I'd be interested to see if they change that. EV rich settings. And so we've got the preferred charging stations.
Yeah.
Should be interesting to see if that's actually got anything in it this time. And
so you can choose connectors and speeds.
Yeah, so this has always been here, but
yeah.
One thing I was interested on is to see if they've got warranty in that, because they were talking about adding it, but it wasn't there when I did my search.
Oh, okay. The ones of the.
No, they still haven't got it, so that's a shame. But I mean, that's more like to come with a sat nav app.
Well, that'll be in the sat nav database, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, so still good though. That was quick. I mean, yeah, the sat nav bit is still sluggish, but that's noticeably quicker than it was.
It is sluggish, but it's quicker than it was.
Yeah. It's cool. So we haven't had our sat nav yet, our speed camera yet.
It's just as we go down the dip.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, I can see it on the map.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've got speed camera warnings on, but
I definitely have.
You're using too much energy. We're down to 15%.
That's quite clever. That.
Yeah.
Quite useful.
That's so far is my favourite new feature. I think that's really good.
Okay, we're not going to take this turning because we're just going to go straight on down.
Yeah.
So as we start to go down the dip, we'll see the camera on the left-hand side. It'd be interesting to see when it bleeps.
Yeah.
I've always found it quite good, to be honest. So you can see it down there about a couple of 100 yards. There you go.
Yep, and that's 230 yards. So it's supposed to be 250 yards, so that's pretty good.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's spot on really. And it's actually mapping right as well, because I can visually see it's coming at the same time as it's actually on the map.
We're just coming up to the camera.
And we're coming up to the camera.
We're physically on the camera right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bang on the
money. That's bang on, yeah, perfect. Exactly what you want to see.
Yeah.
Oh, so far so good.
So far so good.
I mean, I'd go for 19B for just for that.
Yeah. Well, I'd take it just to have the tiles there.
Yeah, and they're still there. They haven't disappeared again.
I don't know. Plenty of people are going to be very grateful for the creep on.
Oh yeah,
creep off.
the creep stuff is just that's been such a big thing, hasn't it? But yeah, I mean, so far there's not many other updates. And there's a lot of things around climate control and like them, which and the eco use of climate is supposed to be better. Difficult to test that. But there's, I think it's primarily those bug fixes are a lot of the key things. I know some people complain there's not many new features, but
you know, to be honest, if there's not many new features, but the features they've given you work and are useful, and particularly the sat nav one with the charge percentage, I'll take that.
I'll take that for definite.
It's shall I stop the nav, or do you?
Yeah, we can stop. We can stop the nav.
Keep going. In fact, I could have done it. I should have done it from. Yeah. Now I've got my tiles.
Yeah, now that's impressive. Actually, being able to stop it from the tile, isn't it?
I was preconditioned not to use a tile because I'm used to not seeing them.
I mean, it's so good to have that back.
It is, yeah, very good. Yeah. And you know, certainly for me, I quite like CarPlay. I like the crisp, clean display.
So is that quicker coming up than it used to be?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, certainly. I haven't seen CarPlay much, but a couple of times I've seen it, it's
pretty good. And
yeah.
You know, for example, I found it quite quick. You issue the Siri commands. Hey Siri, take me home.
One moment. Getting directions to home.
That was quick. Very quick.
Lind Avenue.
Yeah, so...
In half a mile, turn right onto Tattenhoe Lane.
Hey Siri, stop navigation.
Okay, I've stopped navigating.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. I like the interface. It's easy to use. You know, the whole thing seems pretty good.
It seems very clean as well.
Yeah. And even, I mean, I used to have a lot of trouble making telephone calls because you could place a call and the person on the other end wouldn't hear you.
Yeah.
But even that seems to be fixed now.
Which is good, because that's been...
It's quite nice, reads messages out to you.
all
the stuff you can't live without.
Yeah. Well, I was quite impressed with the new Android Auto on the way over, because that's in the Land Rover as well, because it actually did WhatsApp, Telegram and Messenger all on the same screen.
Right.
Which was like... Yeah. You can get a wide car through some narrow gaps. I'm intrigued on your choice of centre console with the map in the middle.
Do you not like this, or?
I've not done it, but actually seeing it, I think it works really well.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, I must be honest.
Yeah, I tend to have the single dial with the navigation to the right and the...
Yeah, I don't know whether it's because I mentioned earlier my wife's got an Audi and she's got this the Audi virtual cockpit.
Yeah.
So that's very similar layout, and I think I'm just used to it with the map, and then the screen's over the top of the map. I find it's quite nice.
Yeah, I think that works well. The other thing I'm noticing is that map's way better synced than it used to be.
Yes.
So when we were driving on the normal map from the actual Jaguar map, it was very synced up, but it's even very well synced up with the CarPlay one.
Yeah, very good. And it's amazing what you get used to as well, because this car has a head-up display.
Yeah.
You realise once the head-up display is working and you've got your navigation in front of your eyes, you don't tend to really look down.
Yeah. I love the head-up display because it's such a hidden feature, because I can't see it from
here.
No,
you can't see it. But it's crisp and clear in my... I do have a minor problem with mine. If it's very hot outside and the sun beats through the window, it's... I think it was a phrase that you may have coined. It's almost like my display on the windscreen looks like you've got astigmatism. Yeah. It's you almost see a shadow of which is slightly annoying. Yeah. I must take it in and get all these updates I'm due. And
you must. Now we discovered you actually have updates.
The trouble is, I just like the car, and I just don't want to take it in and be without it for a few days, I suppose.
Well, they should be able to do these updates a lot quicker now as well.
Should.
That's one of the other things. At least they can push these out as over the air. So anybody who wants to get 19B, and it looks like we should be getting 19B from what we've seen today, at the moment you have to ask your dealer to enable it. And they do that through Single Topics, which is their system they use to get feedback, get information on the car from Jaguar, and also have some control over things going to the car. And one of the options they can do is they can look at the updates available for your car and enable the latest update, which is the 19B one. And it will push, then next time you do an over-the-air check for updates or overnight, it will pick up on it and download it for you. And it's pretty quick after they've enabled it. So
yes, it's almost, in my experience, almost instant.
Yeah. So, and I know some dealers have been saying I can't do it without bringing the car in. Well, that's not totally true. There is a reason why they may want to bring the car in. If you've had Wi-Fi problems, there's a fix for the Wi-Fi problems, which actually sometimes helps with the update. And some people have tried to update over Wi-Fi and failed, which has not been necessarily a good thing. But you should be able to update without Wi-Fi anyway. It works on as long as you've got a reasonable phone signal.
So on the subject of topics and dealers, why do you think they've made the dealers responsible for pushing out these updates rather than JLR as they used to?
I don't know.
That's annoying some people.
It's annoying me as well, because I get asked about it all the time. I think my theory, and I've seen this mentioned in the forums a few times as well, is that they're testing the update with the early adopters.
Right.
Because only the people who've either are on the forums, on the Facebook group,
Yep.
or perhaps watch my channel would actually know about this update.
Sure.
Because Jaguar aren't pushing anything out about the dealers haven't even got it as a campaign.
No.
It's just on the things. So the dealers didn't even know about it, which is why they were quite vague about it. And I think it's actually saying, well, okay, we don't want to have a massive update go out to loads of people who don't necessarily have any sort of tech knowledge and a car, and then find it all doesn't work.
So they're getting a small group of early adopters
who
test it out.
who test it out, who will give immediate feedback, and very good feedback. And so far, obviously, it's gone well. So I suspect we might actually see it suddenly appear as an update for everybody. Apparently, the last update didn't go so well. So. A few people with bricked cars after the update, so I think I can see the caution. But it does seem a strange system to do, but it's...
Well, certainly my limited experience of it, and as we've seen today, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, so I can't... As soon as I get my car back, it's definitely being updated, because that's the thing. Now, obviously, the key thing is what happens when we get back to yours and whether the reverse camera works.
Okay, well, we'll try that. It's not faultless, but it's quicker.
Yeah. Well, certainly those cameras were definitely updating a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So it's good. Oops. And the brakes still work.
And the brakes still work, yeah.
Does it remember the regen levels? That's another question.
We should have had the other graphic on. We'd have had a nice bit of green then, wouldn't
we would have done. I guess because it's actually remembering the tiles, it's definitely remembering the regen settings, high and low. I mean, always remember those anyway. It's just a
Look at that.
vision.
My wife's nicked my space now. There you go.
Yeah, that's because I nicked her space.
Park here in reverse so we can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so somebody's parked that bus on my drive. Oh no, that Range Rover.
Yeah, that definite bus is a bus.
It's enormous, even parked next to my iPace. Okay, so let's have a look at this.
Well, that came up quick, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
And you could see that car coming past.
You could see that car, crystal clear.
Yeah, and that was coming past. I don't know if we caught that in both cameras, but if we did, that was actually almost. I mean, from naked eye, that looked simultaneous.
It is. I reckon there's the tiniest of tiniest delays, but it's so much better than it was.
Oh, that's way better. I mean, I can see where we're lined up with, and that's spot on that camera. So.
Yeah. And because I choose to have the 360 view up at the same time, so whether that slows it at all, I don't know.
I think it does a little bit, but it's definitely.
Yeah, I mean it's very good.
That is really good. I'm impressed with that. That's worth doing the update for alone.
I mean, if there's any delay, it's almost nothing.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to react to.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, sir. That's been excellent.
That's been my pleasure.
We've had
it's been my pleasure. It's I saw most of that for myself the first time.
Well, back in the beast. That was fantastic, Steve. Steve there from the Facebook iPace group. I think he's one of the moderators on the Facebook group. Yeah, really good stuff. So 90B, very worth installing. I think it's going to be the first thing I try and get done on my car when I get it back. But yeah, that reversing camera alone is good enough for me.